The deafening screeches from this demonic entity has been summoned. We now face off against the Banshee, a horrific ship that terrorizes our waters. Don't be fooled by the one small spot on this, whereas the Kraken was all over the place. This thing is nasty. Welcome to Act 2 of Davy Jones Locker Curse of the Ghost Ship. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, or you're watching this as a Patreon or a YouTube member because you've already seen part 1, you then already know what's going on. But if you haven't seen part 1 yet, definitely go over and check that out just to kind of see where we ended up. But if you're in Act 2 right now in your game, and you just kind of want to know how it incorporates into this and everything, that's the first thing I'm going to be teaching you. What's different about this part of the boss battler compared to the Kraken? Let's just start with all of our boards. Again, we got these 3 new boards when we opened up the expansion. I did talk about them a little bit in Act 1. The only one that really came into play was the Phantom Island board, which we were on this side for the whole time. This was our round countdown, doing our exploring, getting our Spectral cards, things along that way. Now we are on the Act 2 side. This is where we're going to be able to find what are called grimoires. Grimoires are these little tiles right here that give us amazing, and I mean amazing advantages into beating the Banshee. But they're not as easy to get, plus they have quite a cost to them. When setting up the grimoires, you're going to separate them into their 3 different spots: the beach, the volcano, and the island, the ghost town. You're going to just take them, you're going to shuffle them kind of together, get them a random order. You'll take 2. The first one goes face down on the bottom. The second one goes face up on the top. This says +3 success on an attack action against a ghost ship. Oh, good. That's really good. Oh, man, that's a powerful one right there. Now we're going to do the same for the volcano. 1 down and 1 up. This one is change all double hits on a Banshee attack to single hits, because you'll be surprised how many times you roll against yourself much better than you ever could roll for yourself. And then we put this down, and this one goes up here. Use 1 grimoire from the yellow pile and 1 grimoire from the orange pile. So basically, you can go into here, pick any one of each of them, and then just use it. Once you use a grimoire, it's out of the game. And if you use one from the board, you replace it face down with another one from the pile. Basically, the way that this works is that in the middle of the map right here is our portal. Remember those from Act 1? This is how we got the Phantom Island. The Banshee will be moving around the board, so it won't always be stuck on the portal. That's just kind of where it exists for the beginning of this round. You know, it's summoned into here, so it summons through a portal, bounces away somewhere. We could then go into that spot, and just like in the other one, we can then send one of our deckhands over to Phantom Island. By doing that, we can then send him on any one of these paths. There's no longer drawing any cards or anything like that, but you would just send him and you would place him on top of a particular grimoire. Then, anytime during your turn, you could pay the cost of that particular section in order to trigger such grimoire. So, for the beach, you are either going to lose 1 integrity, or you spend 2 cursed gold from the chest. And that's kind of a big reason why you wanted to dump as many coins into the chest as possible. We have 7 in here, so we can get, a decent amount of stuff, but it's an either or thing. You're either spending cursed gold from the chest in order to activate the grimoires, or you're losing integrity from your ship. After you do either one, you trigger the grimoire by taking it out of the spot right here, doing whatever it's got to do, and then you replace it by one that is face down, and then the dude comes back to your ship. You can only place a deckhand on a grimoire once a round, so you got to be careful about that. And if you place a deckhand on a grimoire that's face down, you immediately flip it face up. So you're not going to know what it is until you choose that. So that is the advantage of going to Phantom Island. As I did talk about at the beginning of Act 1, Phantom Island is not safe. I am here as a ship, but I am still technically considered at this point on the map. If the Banshee was like right here and had a spread attack, it would hit me even though my ship is in the Phantom Island area. I mean, it's from that realm, so of course its powers are going to be able to go through the portal and everything. So you don't want to be sitting on this center spot too much, because I'm telling you right now, the Banshee loves to target it. So we'll just put these guys back. Speaking of the Banshee, let's go ahead and set this guy up. Now remember, we had all of these set to the 2-player mode, which is at 2 souls If it was a 3-player game, you'd be at 3 souls. If it was a 4 or 5-player game, you'd be all the way at 5 souls. The way that you defeat the Banshee is by sucking the souls out of each one of its healths. For that, we need these little squares right here. Shuffle them up, and then you're going to place 1 in each one of the 5 places up here. So we'll go 1, 2, come here, 3, 4, and 5. The rest just go back to the box. When fighting the Banshee, you cannot directly attack it. Instead, you have to do a new action for this round called siphoning. When you siphon, you choose any one of the stats here and roll your dice to try to either meet that number or gain 1 more. So if I'm rolling a cannon stat, I would need to either hit a 6 or a 7. If I hit a 6, I siphon 2 souls from the Banshee. If I hit a 7, I siphon 1. Any other number, and I don't get anything. Now, we do have an advantage here as well, because we put in 7 gold coins, or I'm sorry, cursed gold, into our chest. Before we got into this act, we have already siphoned out the first round for the Banshee. So we move that to 2. We flip this over, and now this moves down 1. We only then have 4 health in order to beat it, but we have to siphon 2 from each. Also, as you defeat the Banshee, or at least siphon more and more souls, it gets more and more angry. So every one of its attacks are automatically going to have an additional success to it. Whereas if you look down here, every one of its attacks has an additional 4 successes. Ugh. And the final board down here, which had Smuggler's Den on it, is where you find your ghost ships. And again, I love these things. These are absolutely amazing. They look so beautiful. I love the way that they are designed on this. Oh, it's so cool. But again, if you have, 2-player, you use those 2, 3-player, you use 3, 4 and 5-player, you use those 4. There are solo rules, like true solo rules to this, but I'm not going to be playing those. I really just kind of enjoy doing this and everything with the 2-player, 2-handed. If you want to see a solo playthrough, let me know down in the comments below. I'll make time to do it, but it really all depends on what you guys want to see. But otherwise that, we can remove these 2, because I'm not going to be needing them. And now these 2 ghost ships will spawn in our spots on the board. Number 1 going to whoever has the first ghost token, and number 2 going to the second. A thing to note when going up against the Banshee and the ghost ships. The Banshee rolls 5 dice natively, when it's on attack. When it's attacking somebody, it will always roll 5 dice. For the ghost ships, because you can't actually attack the Banshee, that's why it has no defense stat to it, but it will attack using 5 dice, plus all of its modifiers. For the ghost ships, when you attack them, number 1, you need to have a spectral item. If you do not have a spectral item, you can't even hit these things. So you have to go to Phantom Island in the hopes to find a spectral item, which could be located underneath one of those grimoires. But if you have a spectral item, which is what we do, they have static numbers. They do not roll dice. They will move 4, they defend 4, they attack 4. Nice and easy right there. Simple numbers. That's all you have to deal with as you are facing off against the ghost ships. So the way that a typical round goes is that there are 2 phases, the Banshee phase and then the ghost ship and player phase. They kind of go interchanging. One will go and then the other. You will have a stack of Banshee cards right here, very similar to like the Whirlpool cards that you had from the Kraken. You shuffle these up and you're going to deal 8 face down. So it'll always be 8, no matter how many players there are or anything along that ways. You will always draw 8, and if I can actually do that without dropping any cards, that would be fantastic as well. So that's all we're going to do. We're just going to do a quick shuffle up right here, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As before, like with the Kraken, this is your countdown. If you go to draw from the Banshee deck and you cannot, you lose. Now then, let's go over here to our ships. I have organized everything else here in order to make it look a little bit better. All of our equipment is laid out. We have the lifeboat, the green fire candle, and the headrails for our leatherback, which he is like super defensive at this point. I wish I had gotten the cannons up higher, at least even 1 higher, but it's not going to really help out at all. He has Turn Shell. That is his Act 2 ability that is on the other side of the card. Place a counter showing 5 on this card. If any ally within 3 spaces is attacked, you may lower the counter by 1 to sail into your ally's space. The attack hits you instead. When defending, if you roll 2 more success than the attack value, you may repair 1 on any ship within 3 spaces, including yourself. If the leatherback is going to be completely defensive in this situation, then that heal would always go to his integrity. I mean, his integrity is at 2 right now. I'm not happy with that, but I have a lot of things here that'll help me. The green fire candle, for example, when you lose integrity from an attack, I can instead remove a token and take no damage. So I got 2 free defense right there, a bunch of healing and everything. So I think the leatherback is in for a good run to try to keep me alive. And then I can just do some easy heals using that and the lifeboat and whatever. So we also have curses, but I'm going to talk about them in a moment. Let's talk about the Act 2 ability for the Nautilus. This is Reckless Abandon. Before making an attack roll on your turn, you may lower your integrity by up to 3. For every 1 you lower, add 1 success to all attack rolls during that turn. For 1 action, I can also repair any other ship within 1 space by half of my repair stat, rounded down. Which is really like 1 at this point. If it was up 1, it would be more worth it because I'd be able to heal things by 2. So probably won't use that second ability, but at the very least, knocking down my own integrity in order to raise up my attack for that turn, and then doing a repair action for 3 to bring it back up is a vital thing. Problem is, I only have a 1 attack right now. We took a beating in that last round, so it's going to be interesting to see how all this works. My green fire is really good in order to reduce the damage from ghost ships. The green fire oracle is good for dealing damage to them, so that's something I got to remember as well. At this point, I can't even really damage them because they have a defense of 4. And if I'm only rolling 1, that's only 4 damage. So we'll see how I do things, but we need to flip those curses. So the good thing is we only have 2 curses each. You can only have a maximum of 4 curses. If you have 4 curses and you go to take a 5th curse, instead of taking it, you lose, I believe you lose a stat anywhere, or you lose integrity. I gotta double check that, but I'm pretty sure you lose any 1 stat. And then, of course, if everything is lowered by already down at its lowest, then you lose integrity. This thing siphons so much health and your own life force from you. I love the theme to it. It's so cool. Let's start with the Nautilus, and we're going to flip these over. These are individual things that affect the specific boat. So this will only affect the Nautilus and not the leatherback. I cannot use attack rolls to siphon the Banshee. That's fine. I'll probably never do that, so I'm fine with that. And then if a Banshee card has no push, you cannot move away from the Banshee on your turn. All right, so the Banshee will have push and pull effects. So if it does not have a push, I can't move away from it. That's gonna be a challenge. The leatherback. If you are hit by an attack from the Banshee and lose no integrity, you instead lose 1 integrity. Oh man, so like the green fire candle would cause me to lose no integrity, but then that would cause me to lose 1 integrity. Oh man, I'm always losing 1? Oh, that's not fun. I don't like that. You can only siphon 1 soul from the Banshee at a time. Oh, that stinks. These are terrible. And speaking of terrible, the other thing we got to keep in mind is that we are possessed. That is a mechanic within the game. If you have 4 curses, you are possessed. And what does possessed mean? Possessed means that you are sitting inside of this like swirly ghosty thing and whatever. And the idea is that if you are within attack range of your ally, then you have to make an attack as the very first thing you do on your turn. It's a free action. It doesn't count to your actions, but before you do anything, you have to make an attack. Now, I have a 1 attack right now, so I'm not in a 4 defense over here, so I'm not really worried about doing any damage, so I can be close to the leatherback. But if you're playing your game and you have a high attack, if you have like the hammerhead and the hammerhead gets possessed, stay away from it as long as you can, because that thing will destroy you with its own abilities. The last thing we got to figure out is turn order, and the way that you do that is you see where the active gold is and who has the most cursed gold out of everybody. Whoever has the most cursed gold will take the number 1 haunt token, and then the rest of them are just passed around the table evenly. So honestly, it's just going to go right up here. I'll just put them up this way so we can see it a little better, to the Nautilus. Now, in your game, if you have 3 or 4 players and you have all of them out and everything, you can exchange tokens with other players. It just is going to cost you an integrity. So if I wanted the Nautilus to be first and the leatherback to be second, I can switch them, but then they would cost both of them 1 integrity. So you do have kind of a choice on your turn order, but at the same time, it's going to cost you. So make sure you're well prepared. All right, the last things that got to go on here are the sea stacks and the reefs. These are new obstacles that you have to deal with while you're going around. The whirlpool doesn't exist. Keep that in mind as well. There is no rotation of the waters or anything. This is just solid water, but the sea stacks and the reefs actually make it for a little bit more of navigation around, especially if the Banshee is pulling you and pushing you away from it. Let's start with the sea stacks. The sea stacks are just a single token that'll go on the board. If you end up going into this, you can't actually sail into it yourself, but if you were pushed into it, or if you happen to be spawned into it at the very beginning of the game, you lose 1 integrity and then you're pushed to any adjacent space. To figure out where they go, we gotta do this 3 times. This is going to the third section in the northeast. So the way it works, it's 0. This is the eye of the whirlpool, but 0, 1, 2, 3, and then all the 8 octants around for the the compass. So we're going 0, 1, 2, 3 in the northeast, so we can put this one sea stack anywhere up here. I'm going to put it right there, actually. We'll roll for the next one. That is south 1, so that is just right here. And the last sea stack goes west 3, all the way up there. Next are the 3 reefs that go down. These are double hexes that go together, and whenever you put them down, they have to be within the league that you roll, but you can kind of arrange them however you want. You can use, you can actually go in and out of reefs. It costs 2 movement or 2 sail to go in, and then 1 to leave. It doesn't matter. But if you spawn in it, or if you ended up getting pushed or pulled into a reef, you'll lose 1 hull stat by doing that. So, same thing with the sea stacks. We're going to roll this. That is east 2. So I can put this either here, here. It's as long as one part of it is in the area, then it's fine. I'm actually just going to put it. I'm going to put it right here. Going. No, we'll go this way. Yeah, that'll work out better. Let's roll again. Southeast 2. So we got southeast 1, 2. So I have to keep it kind of like, you can't touch them, like they are not allowed to overlap, but that should work right there. Then we have northwest 1, which is right up here. I love this one. This was so cool because it's like the skull and crossbones. You know what? I'm just going to leave it like, or do I want to put it like that? Let's put it like that. Yeah, there we go. So there we are. So that is the reefs. Now we get to spawn in our ships, and this is working the exact same way. We roll the league and the compass dice, and we see where it goes. So the Nautilus, or I'm sorry, the Leatherback, because he's the first one, will go north 3. So we'll just put him, we'll put him right over there. That should be fine. And then the Nautilus goes northwest 2, so I can start on any one of those. We'll put him far away, you know, all possessed and the like. Now we take our ghost ships, take the ones that match our numbers, and we put them right with us on the same space. So we start right next to ghost ships. Good thing is, again, we each have, spectral items so we can attack. Bad news is we don't really have that great of an attack. I am not looking forward to this for sure. Each ghost ship does have 4 health to it, and there are ways for them to respawn back in, but I'll be honest with you, going through that entire Banshee deck, I think there was like 3 cards that respawn them, so they don't come back very often, and you have to. In order to win the game, you have to siphon everything from the Banshee and defeat both ghost ships. With that said, let us start this battle. All right, round 1, and everything goes with phase 1, which is the Banshee phase. We flip this over, and we follow the card from top to bottom. Force Field. This pushes both of our ships away 2 spaces. The next thing next to that is the Banshee is going to choose a primary target and teleport to them up to 5 spaces. Teleporting is different than moving. It will then make an attack. If the attack hits, the attacked ship will gain another curse. That's only if it hits. Then we follow the rest of the card. All right, so we do the first half first. Everything pushes back 2. So we actually just go back over this way by 1 for the Nautilus. The Leatherback doesn't move at all because it's already as far back as it can go. Now it's going to determine who is a primary target. First, we're going to determine who's closest, which I believe we're equal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we're both 4 spaces away from the Banshee, but then it chooses the lowest integrity. So it's going to be the Leatherback. So it teleports. Teleporting, as I said, is different than moving. There are certain cards that trigger if something moves into an adjacent space or whatever next to it. Teleporting is basically just going whoop, whoop, whoop. It just appears in those spots, and it'll move up to 5 points, getting close to its target. Now it's going to aim and fire 5 dice at the leatherback. You always got to pay attention to its board as well, because that's where it also gives its boost. So it's going to be +1. So whatever these 5 are, where'd you go? Come back here. It's 5 dice +1. This guy needs to stand up a little bit better. So we rolled, of course we roll amazing. Why wouldn't we? So there we go. That's what we got to do. We'll just say 1, 2. So that's what we have to get around. And now we roll defensively as normal. Because of our hard rails, we do at least get 1 defense. So it's possible that we could take no damage. We just got to roll. We just got to roll 6 or better. So yeah, that's possible, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, it's possible. Geez. All right. Well, we know how this is going to work. But at the very least, the leatherback didn't take any damage. However, we do have to get another curse. Drawing from the top curse card, the leatherback now says, if you are possessed, you have 3 curses instead of 4. I am not possessed, so that's good. The reason that says that is because if you have 3 and you keep getting possessed, you keep losing integrity that way. So it's just killing your guy a little bit faster. But we're okay for right now because the leatherback actually is not possessed. All right, so we'll follow the rest of this force field card right here, which is move the Banshee adjacent to as many ghost ships as possible, teleporting as few spaces as possible. Each ghost ship adjacent to the Banshee has 5 results when defending instead of 4, so it actually boosts its defense by 1. And it takes 2 in order to enter a space adjacent to the Banshee. So he's going to go whoop, whoop right up here. Well, a few spaces possible. He'll actually go right up here. This is the closest ghost ship to him. He's going to stand right here and feed him his mystic energy. So now this guy has 5 defense instead of 4. And again, that's just for the remainder of this round. Once this goes away, then everything is back to normal. Now we're going to go on to phase 2, which is the ghost ship and the player turns. The ghost ships go first, 1 will go, and then that player number will go. So we're going to start with the leatherback, because the leatherback has the number 1 spot. This is what I was talking about, trading tokens around and everything. This is basically going to determine turn order as we go forward. So the ghost ship that is connected with this number 1, which again, whatever, the unicorn, sure, it's right next to the leatherback. It's going to now move to him, which is already in the space, so it's fine, and now attack. Base attack on all ships are 4, so now I get to defend. I do get 1 automatic success because of my head rails, and then I get to roll, and there we go. So that's my 4 defense right there. I have now defended against, I've taken no damage from that thing. I just want to point out one thing really quickly. If you have the player cards, there is something up here that says repair, raise its integrity by 1. Ignore that. You will not be raising the ghost ship's integrity at all. That is something that got taken out last minute and just wasn't changed on this one. There's actually also things in Act 1 that talk about summoning the ghost ships to your field. You would ignore that as well. Ghost ships only appear in Act 2. They do not appear in Act 1. Do not worry about raising the integrity of the ghost ships. They will do enough damage as is. But now we get to go finally, or at least the leatherback goes first, because that ghost ship has finished all of its abilities. First thing I'm going to do is a repair action to bring myself up to 4, because that thing is terrible. I don't want to have to deal with that. What's the next thing I want to do? A thing to note as well is that you can do multiple of the same action on your turn as well. So I did that repair already, and I repaired up to there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run away. I need to run away because after making a sail action, I can repair 1. So I can just repair something that's damaged right now, which is either my cannon or my overall integrity. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to kind of just push myself to the side right here. I will worry about trying to figure out attacking a little bit later, but we need to just do a slight retreat and a bit of a heal in order to make sure our guys don't sink. So we moved. I was able to heal 1, so we'll put that back up to 5, and then I will make a second repair action by actually bringing my cannon up to 2. There are things on Phantom Island that will raise stats as well if you manage to get it, so I want to get everything up to the best it can. So right now, this is above, that's above. These are at, so if I get anything that raises a stat, I'd get another cannon, which would be very, very helpful. But that's it. That's 3 actions right now for the leatherback. Nautilus, well, the ghost ship goes for the Nautilus. All right, so this guy right here is just going to turn and attack me directly. Again, he does a static attack of 4. I would normally only be able to roll 2 dice because of my hull, but because of my crow's nest, I actually get another one because I'm adjacent to the enemy. So maybe I'll take minimum damage. Nope. Oh my goodness. Ow. Oh, that's 3 damage. Yeah, this is going to be very good at all. So we are down to a 1. There we go. But now it is our turn, which is great. Let's see. What I'm going to first do is I'm going to fire off this green fire oracle. I'm going to take 1 from here and 1 from here and place them both, come back here, underneath the ghost ship that is adjacent to me. This is a free action because it's once per turn. You may choose 1. It would say for an action, do the thing, because it says that on everything else, for an action, do the thing. This is just once per turn. You may place 1 green fire token from this card on adjacent, remove 2 green fire tokens from an adjacent enemy to deal 3 damage to that enemy. Basically, I'm just taking a token from each of them, because I can do that here as well, lowering its attack, because it will have 1 or more, and then once I have a bunch on there, which I'm going to have 2 already, I can remove them to do 3 damage, but that's only once per turn. This is going to be my main source of damage for these ghost ships, at least for a little bit right here. All right, so that was my free action. Next, I'm definitely going to be taking 2 repair actions. First, we're going to repair for 3 to go up to 4. Do I repair again for 3 to go up to 7? You know what? We're far enough away from the Banshee that I'm not really too worried about it. Let's repair again for 7, or 3 to bring us up to 7. And then a third repair. It's all repairing actions in order to bring my hull back up there. So now I'll be rolling 4 dice, enabling me to get a better chance of, not sinking. All right, that's the end of round 1. That was a very defensive round for us, for sure. Banshee now does a pull, a push, a teleport of 6, and we'll do an attack with 1 additional result to it. That's addition to the one that it has on the card. All right, so it has to be pulled 1. So these would both be pulled over to the Banshee by 1. I think actually I can go up this way, which is fine, because it doesn't matter. It still moves me in a direction. And then it pushes back. So really, I'm just going to move myself back to where I was. The Banshee is going to target the leatherback again and just kind of teleport itself over this way. And now it's going to make a 5 dice attack with a 2 success already. Please, oh please, oh please, please, please just be nice to me. Okay, all right, so that's 1, 2, so it's 6 altogether, we'll say, just to make it a little easier. All right, so we know we get at least 1 guaranteed result, and we roll 4 dice in order to try to defend against this the best that we can. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So is that 2, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we only take 1 damage from this, which I might as well just take. Yeah, using this doesn't really matter right now because I would still have to take the 1 damage because of my curse. So we'll just bring this down to 4. All right, so what we have here now is the possession actual attack. This is the area of effect for the Banshee, and that's based on where it is. Because the Banshee is right here, it would affect like 1, 2, and then like everything up and around it. It's going to be hitting the leatherback. It's going to do an attack against the leatherback right now. After it's done finalizing this attack, starting with the player whose turn is it next, which is going to be the leatherback, they will pretty much teleport to the space of the next player and make an attack roll because they're within this area. So he'll jump to the other side, but then we'll both have a lot of distance between us and the Banshee. Problem is, like I said, the Banshee is once again attacking, so we roll all of this. Okay. He does have 1 automatic success, so we have 5 coming at us with a defense of, oh, nice. Okay, so we actually have an automatic defense, which is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 5. I was hoping I would be able to get this. If I were defending, I rolled 2 or more than the attack value, I could repair something, gain back that repair, but that's all right. That is what it is. This actually may end up working out well for me because my leatherback is going to go now. Well, actually, first things first is the ghost ship here is going to go, and he's going to be targeting. He targets the lowest number. All ghost ships have a movement of 4, so he's really just going to go 1, 2, 3. Yep, he will go here because ghost ships and the Banshee are not affected by reefs or sea stacks. I mean, it makes sense. They're incorporeal things. So, stuff like physical items should not hurt them. But this guy is going to attack the leatherback for 4. And we roll. Ooh, Oh, that's good. Oh, that's really, really finally good. Okay, good. So that defends it. Bloop. And that's +2. So the leatherback actually gets to have a repair 1 action. Fantastic. Bring this back to 5. Yay. All right, well, now it is the leatherback's turn. And just like with the possession card, if any player are in the affected spaces, they have to move to the space of the next player. Yeah, to the space. And whoosh, right over here, we immediately make an attack with +2 success. All right, so 2 dice going against the Nautilus. All right, so that's 2 there. So that's effectively a 4 attack against the Nautilus. All right, Nautilus is going to defend with 4. That would be a 3 plus the 1 he gets from the crow's nest. Ah, perfect. There you go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So no damage right there. That's good. Now the leatherback gets to take his turn. Okay, so I think what we're going to do here is, again, we don't have much in the way of attack for these guys. So what I am going to do is we're going to get out of the way of the Nautilus right here, because he will attack me because he's a possessed, even though I may want to be here anyway, because he's only going to attack me with 1 dice, and I have a crazy amount of defense, and because I'll be rolling defense, I should be able to heal. It says when defending, if you roll 2 or more than the attack value, you can repair 1 on any ship within 3. I think I'm going to, I need to play into that a little bit more. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4. We have moved to the portal, putting us onto Phantom Island. Because we moved with the lifeboat, we're able to heal 1, so this is now at 6. Oh man, this is going to be great. I'm also going to take one of my deckhands and send him to shore. We're going to plop him on the top grimoire right here. So now any time during my turn, I believe, you guys can correct me down in the comments that, the designers, whatever, if you're watching this, but I believe this only happens on my turn because it's my deckhand. I can add 3 success to an attack on against a ghost ship. So that's kind of like preparing myself to fight the other ghost ship a little bit later. I don't need to be here in order to claim the grimoire and actually activate it. I could be somewhere else because it's like I'm summoning the power of the guy that I left on the island to bring it to me. So what I am now going to do is we're going to turn again. We're going to move 5 once more, and we'll go 1, 2, 3. Do I want to just stay there? Yes, I'm going to stay right here. I'm just going to stay right there. I know a push will knock me into that and lose an integrity, but at least I'll stay right there, and I think that's fine. I think I actually forgot to add the additional 2 to the bottom of this when the attack was made. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to move this back down to 5. I might have done it, but something tells me that I forgot. So I'm just going to say that I didn't actually gain that heal, and that's the compromise that I have. Now it is the Nautilus's turn. This, again, doesn't need to do anything. It just turns. Well, actually, it would turn to the leatherback, because it takes its target by the closest ship. They're both equal distance, and then it targets whatever has the lowest number. So leatherback is what it is going after. All right, so this is a 4 attack, and whatever I roll, I can add 1 to it, which right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Leatherback takes 0 damage from that ghost ship. Now it is the Nautilus's turn. Because the Nautilus is possessed, it has to attack the leatherback, doing 0. Now the leatherback is going to roll and defend for 1, well, defend for that much, which is more than 2. So he's actually going to give the Nautilus a single stat boost, repair of sorts, for their movement. I think that's going to be what happens for a little bit here, just kind of figuring out a way to heal the 2 of them. I also got to remember, as long as it has green fire, it has -1 health to it. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove 2 green fire tokens from an adjacent enemy and deal 3 damage to it, just as that, just as a free action. So boom, both of these explode right in its face, and it goes from 4 health to 1. That is a free action right there. I still haven't even done an action yet, technically. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my next green fire shot from the green fire raven, and we're going to throw that underneath the ghost ship next to me. Again, that is a free action there. I used the free action on this one. Now I'm using the free action on this one. So we're going to put another one under here. Now, because I actually have to take my turns, I'm going to go ahead and just move 1 over this way. By doing that, I activated my Stern Chasers. After you move at any point during a round, add 2 more attack to your next attack roll. In addition to that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reduce my integrity by, let's say I reduce it, I'm going to reduce it by 2, I guess. Yeah, sure. So that'll bring it to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. That's all I needed. Because it has a defense of 4. I did 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, I'm going to do this one more. I'm going to bring this all the way down to 4. Just like this. Boom, boom. That's 3 damage to me. So now I have 5 guaranteed success on this attack. It has a defense of 4. Doesn't matter what I roll, which of course is 1 hit, I still did 1 damage to it. And we have taken out this thing. Actually, no, I didn't even have to roll. No, wait, no, let me go back. Right, the reason I did the Green Fire Raven is because it reduced its health by 1. So I'm back up at the 5. Yeah, that's what I want. Reduced by 2, reduced by 2. 2 success, 2 success is 4. Its defense went from 4 to 3 because of this. I kill it. It's gone. Whole point is getting this thing off the board. We want to destroy them, and that is what we do. So you are over here. You are defeated. Again, there are ways of bringing these things back into the mix of it, but I'm kind of hoping to not have to deal with that. All right, so I moved, and then I did the attack action, which was the second action right there. I think what I'm going to do is just play it safe and repair myself back up to 8 and call it a day for the Nautilus. We will get over to the Banshee sooner than later, but again, this is a lot of prepping right now to make sure we are not caught off guard. All right, so that's done there. Let's go ahead to the next card. Pull 1 towards the Banshee. It will teleport up to 4 spaces and attack. If an attack and hits its curse. Now, its range is also only, 1? So it would have to be next to a boat in order to hit it. All right, so it's 1 pull and 1 pull. They all have to go at least 1 league closer. The Banshee will then move 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's best that's where it is, and neither of us are adjacent to it, so we actually have come off pretty lucky with that one. What's not so lucky is I'm pretty sure the Nautilus is going to be, or Leatherback is going to be taking some pretty big damage. It moves to the middle of the north 3, makes an attack. Well, it does a, is that a pull or a push? I keep forgetting. Those are pushes. So it does an attack, and anything it hits, it does a push to. And then it teleports to the other side, does an attack, anything it hits, it pushes. Okay, so it goes here, and it fires out in a cone that goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So unfortunately, the Nautilus is hit. So it's basically this. This is what I was talking about. If you were in here, this thing was probably going to hit you twice within this round. So it is here. I am out of the range with the Nautilus. I am in range with the Leatherback. It's going to do a 5 dice attack, plus 2 successes, 1 from the operation card and 1 from the board. All right, so the Banshee attacks. Oh, God, of course. Why wouldn't it? Geez, 1, 2, 3, 4, a lot. So that's a lot. And we will defend all of this plus 1. So that would be, oh boy, so that would have been 4 damage right there if I didn't have a green fire candle. So we're going to go ahead and remove one of this. When you would lose integrity from an attack, because that's what it is, you would instead remove a token from this card and take no damage. Boom, I did that. However, if you're hit from an attack from the Banshee and lose no integrity, which is what happened, I would lose 1 integrity instead. So regardless of anything, I lose 1, but it's better than losing 4. Ugh. Now it says I get pushed, so I may actually get pushed back this way. The Banshee will then teleport over here, fire off in this range, and hit nothing. So there we are. We have avoided that attack this round. Oof. All right. Evil Ghost Ship goes. And what it's going to do, it's going to target the closest enemy. Both of us are actually the equal distance. And it will target whoever is the lowest number, which is actually the Leatherback. I'm glad that he had that. And it'll move 1, 2, 3, 4. Not getting in a direct line or whatever. And that's pretty much going to be that. All right. Leatherback is going to go 1, 2, move up over there. So its first action is a move action. By moving, it gets to repair 1. So we will go ahead and move that back up to 5. We will also go and do an attack action right now. So we'll grab our 2 attack right here. And we're actually going to lose that 1 integrity that I just gained back in order to summon my deckhand in order to trigger this ability. So this is going to add plus 3 success to my attack roll against the ghost ship. By taking that out, we immediately just replace it with the next one. All right, so we know that that has a defense of 4. I'm already doing 3. I need to be able to hit it with like something really good. All right, well, that's, at least it's something. It's something. We did 1 damage to this thing. The idea is to kind of to whittle it down the best way possible. And I think that's good because I can throw a bunch of the green, the green fireballs on it and then blow it up the next turn. So there we go. Down to 3. Get rid of the minions first, ideally. And then we're just going to go ahead and move again. 1, 2, 3, moving back this way. And that will actually heal us for the 1 integrity that I lost when I chose to go to Phantom Island. Now the Nautilus goes. There is no other ghost ship to kind of go with it. So the Nautilus will attack for 1, doing nothing. We will defend for 4, having way more than 2. And we're just going to continue healing it that way. So we'll put 1 right there for its maximum speed stat. Next time I will start increasing its damage output again. But for right now, let's actually take the turn for, our Nautilus. It's going to be a little bit of a risky move with the Nautilus, but we're going to try something right here. First, we're going to do a move. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. That's the first thing we're going to do. I've actually changed my mind. I am going to go ahead and give it the cannon stat from here because I am going to do an attack right now. So we'll do 2 from this. Before anything else, let's go ahead and take each one of these green fires and throw it underneath. Light it up, light it up, light it up. Okay, so I did that. I did my movement. So I am guaranteed 2 attack on this. I have 2 dice here. I'm going to go ahead and just hit myself for... do I want to do all 3? Let's just do all 3. Again, this could be risky, but we're going to try it. So I have a guaranteed 5. Let's get back over here. You're at 5. 5. Okay, so I know for a fact I'm doing 1 damage to this thing for sure without any question asked. So now whatever I roll here is going to be in addition to it. And if I roll at least 2, I destroy it. Yes, there we go. So I've knocked it down from 3 all the way down to 1. Yes, I've used the Ghost Fire on it, but that's okay. I'd rather do that in order to make sure that, because it already had 1 less defense at that point. I forgot it, but I hands off the chess pieces right now. So there we go. Fantastic. And you, my friend, are also sunk. Yeah. And for the final action, I know I'm going to be staying on Phantom Island here. I'm actually going to send this guy over here to the very last Grimoire. These are super powerful. You definitely want to try to grab these as soon as you can. And that's how that's going to be. Hopefully we won't get another attack like this or else my Nautilus is in a lot of trouble. Flipping to the next one. All right. Wraith Cannon. Everybody is pushed away 1. It does a teleport of 4 and then does an attack. All right, so pushed everybody away. We'll say you are pushed over here, which is fine. And then I guess you'll be pushed up that way, which should be okay as well. And now it's going to move 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It will get next to the Nautilus and it will do an attack. The Nautilus isn't the greatest when it comes to defense, but hopefully the Banshee will not hurt it that much. Oh, wow. It didn't. Oh, boy. Okay, so it gained 1. So we know that this is here and then 1 additional 1 from the Banshee board. So the Nautilus only has to defend against 5. All right, so we know that we're rolling 4 here, 3 for our defense, and 1 for the crow's nest, so hopefully not so bad. Oh, nice! Nice! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We took no damage! Yeah, that's great! Oh, that is awesome! Now it's going to do some crazy teleporting attacks. First, it's going to move to Northwest 2, land in a spot that's going to be most convenient, and do an attack. So it's going to go, boop, right here. It's going to hit all spaces around it, and if it hits anything like with a shot, then it's going to go ahead and deal a curse out. Here's what's very interesting. If I managed to get cursed by this Banshee, I would have had 4 curses. Does that 4, because that immediately possesses me. Once you're possessed, you can't get unpossessed, which means I would lose that last one because if you have 3 curses, you are possessed. If you have 3, oh no, never mind. I am considered possessed. Oh shoot, never mind. Oh boy, okay, I probably should have been attacking the Nautilus all this time. I completely misread that. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, well, I'll figure out some way to adjust it from there. Hopefully we can defend against this and just not get another curse. So 1, 2, so we know this is 5 again. And we're rolling 4 with 1 guaranteed result. So 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. So defended completely against this, so we do not actually gain another curse. and then the Banshee would bounce to southeast 2 and basically do the exact same thing. He can, again, be in Stacks and Reefs and everything like that without any effects. So he's right there doing the same thing, and that would be that. Again, I think I'm just going to bring the integrity of this ship down. We'll bring it down by 2, because I feel like that was like a problem that I should have taken a lot of damage from the Leatherback if he was possessed this whole time, thinking that I could be like together with him to like play off of, if he wasn't possessed, then this ability would work out great, but I'm just going to leave it like that. Leatherback does go now, and at this point, we got to just start siphoning out souls from the Banshee. But what I should do first, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the island. We're going to take the deckhand, and I'm actually going to put him on this orange one right here. And by doing that, we get to flip it over. Siphon 3 souls from the Banshee. Oh, good. Oh my goodness, that's great. That'll just knock it out. That's something we got to hold on to until the very end if we get down to a good spot. And then we're just going to do another move action. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go all the way to the side over here. That was 2 moves, so we'll put ourselves back up at 6. Nautilus goes. I think we're going to start trying to siphon some Banshee attack from here. So we're going to go 1, 2 as a movement. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to do a siphon action. So I'm just going to bring this over here so you can kind of see what it is. I can choose any one of the 4 stats and roll my dice based off of, obviously, my number here. I'm probably going to do repair because I roll 3 dice and I just need to hit a 3 in order to siphon 2 souls from the Banshee, which is great. Because I have the Cursed Idol, which is fantastic, by the way, I could spend an integrity, so lose an integrity going down to 2, to plus or minus 1 or 2 from that result. Meaning I have a great chance of mathing it out to hit that 3 to siphon the 2. I could then use my last action in order to heal me again. So that's the goal right now. We are rolling 3 for the repair, and we need to hit a 3. We need to hit a 3, which we did exactly. That is awesome. Oh, the screams are being released. By doing that, we have now siphoned out everything. And this moves down here. Now, all of the Banshee's attacks get +2 added to it. Which means it's probably in my best interest to at least heal myself. So we will go ahead and go back to 6. And that is going to be the end of the Nautilus's turn. All right, we have finished this one. On to the next Banshee card. Another Wraith Cannon, but it looks like he's going to different... Oh, God, he's going to be hitting the guy again. All right, so push. Everyone gets pushed away 1. It teleports 4 and does an attack. I don't think you can really be pushed any further away. You're too far away already. You're going to get pushed up here, and then the Banshee is just going to whoop right over there and do an attack. This is where it gets dangerous, because now it's going to start really wailing on me. Oh, God. So really... It's 2, 4, 6. 6 damage. Oh, against the Nautilus. I do have a health of, 6. So I kind of don't want to lose it all. Well, that's 4 damage to me. Yep. So we go down to 2. Oh, goodness. Good thing I healed. Okay, so now he's going to go to Southwest 2, which he would actually go here to make sure that he hits at least one of the ships within it, and then he would go to Northeast 2, and it doesn't matter which one he goes to up there, he's not going to hit me. All right, let's see if this even hits. It's probably going to hit, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4. He gets a +2, and then so that's a lot to defend against. And this isn't like integrity damage, this is just him cursing me or not. Yeah, that's definitely a curse right there. So, take the top curse. When possessed, add +2 range to all rolls against allies. Oh, no. So I got to be even further away from the Nautilus to make sure I don't hit them, because I have an additional 2 range against the Nautilus. All right, so then he'll just kind of pop up here to Northeast 2. Doesn't really matter. I'll put him right in the middle. All right, it is our turn once again. Let's go and let's head back. Do I want to head back to the island? Yes, we do. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, heading back to Phantom Island. That's going to put us up to 7. And then another action, we're going to take another deckhand. And we're going to put him on this purple one over here just to see what this is. Choose a Spectral or market card not in play and equip it to your ship. Oh, that's interesting. I'm then just going to go ahead and just 1, 2, 3, 4 and get away from him right now. We're going to heal back up to 8, and I think on the next turn, we're going to see about finally defeating this Banshee. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to repair 3 right here to make sure to get nothing really killing us. The Banshee card does have a push to it, so we can get away from Banshee, which I think I'm going to do. So we will move, we'll move 4 away. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. He hit me hard, so I need to we'll move ourselves over here, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll put ourselves on this spot right there, and then we're just going to heal again for 3 to 8. I need to have full health. Once I have full health, which I do now, on the next round, I feel a lot more confident going into the Banshee for the kill. I also got to remember this, but that's really only 4 Banshee attacks. This is basically going to give me a reroll on all enemy attacks. This one is a reroll on our own attacks. Okay, we did that. We're also reaching the end. We only have a few more of these, so we really need to do something. All right, Banshee is going to pull us in 1. It's going to do a teleport of 3. Oh, geez, I'm going to hit the sea stacks with the Nautilus. Each ship adjacent to the Banshee loses 1 integrity. For each one lost this way, it gains a soul. The Banshee cannot go above its maximum soul on a level and cannot gain souls above its current level. That's actually pretty good. All right, so we're first going to go 1 and 1. Unfortunately, the Nautilus hits this and bounces back, so I'm actually going to put myself back to where I was over here, but he does lose an integrity. Now the Banshee goes to movement at 3, so really it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to go towards 1, 2, 3, and that's it. That's as close as it's going to be able to get to him. It doesn't have any additional range, which is good. And now each ship adjacent to the Banshee loses an integrity. It does not lose an integrity, so that is great as well. And basically the rest of that card reads is that if we were playing a higher player count and you had, say we were at 5 here, just for example, and you had siphoned it down to 3, it would have gained up to whatever the maximum is for that particular level. It will not and would not reopen up the slots here. So I have already siphoned these 2 out. That's it. It will always, now these will always be gone. I can then just continue knocking it down with the rest of this. All right, we're getting low on cards, so let's go ahead and finally get ourselves down to the point of getting rid of this creature. First things first, let's head over to Phantom Island. Just a little clarification needed if you don't mind anybody out there watching this, but the book does say at any time. Does that mean I could trigger this even on the Nautilus's turn when it's not the leatherback? Secondly, does that mean does this not include or does not count as an action? I personally think that at any time on your turn for an action, that's what it's supposed to read as, but I could be wrong. In any event, I'm going to go ahead and lose 2 integrity from the leatherback, so it's going to go down to 6 in order to siphon 3 souls right from the Banshee. Oh, that is fantastic. So it goes 1, 2, but the problem is that once you hit 0 on any dial, that's it. Any extra does not carry over. So really all that did was knock out 1 more of the siphon points. But that does leave it up for quite a good way in order for the Nautilus to come in and finish the job. Let's just go ahead and reset that right there. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. That was 1 action for Phantom Island. I'm pretty sure that that is an action. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, circling around this beast right here, getting over on that side. That will give me back that 1 integrity, or at least 1 integrity that I lost out of the 2. We are then going to do a siphon action in order to kind of help out the Nautilus a little bit, or at least the best that we can. We are not limited to, if you're hit with buff for the Banshee, just make sure. I can only siphon 1 at a time. So whatever it is I do, I can only siphon 1 anyway. Pretty sure I've been forgetting this as well, but in that case, then I'm not even going to bother. I am just going to repair back up to my maximum, so I am fully healed for when the inevitable attack that's going to happen from the Banshee. Now then, Nautilus, this is all you. 1, 2, 3. We are right next to the Banshee. We're just going to focus on repair stats because I'm going to do 2 siphon actions in a row. I have the integrity in order to lose. In order to plus or minus 2, I'm rolling 3 dice apiece. I have to hit a 4 and then a 2. All right, let's see if we can do this. This might be the end. I hope this is the end. This is already dragged on like crazy. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3. I am going to lose an integrity, so that means I'm going to go down to 6 in order to plus 1, giving me a 4, making that an exact number, doing this. More screams. Siphon, siphon, siphon. Here we are. This is it. This is the last one. And look at that. It's plus 4 success. Oh, God, I have to kill this thing now. All right, this is it. This is for all of us out there who wish to have safe oceans, not have to worry about being haunted and possessed and attacked by all these demons. I now have a 4, which would have been great for last round, but I will lose 1 more integrity going to 5, doing a -2, bringing me to an exact number of 2. And with that, the ghost ship has been siphoned of all of its souls. You are banished, Banshee, back to Davy Jones's locker with you and your minions from the deep. Where'd the other one go? Here it is. Your fleet of ghost ships will never haunt these oceans again. This right here is by far the best item to have when going up against the Banshee. There is no doubt about it. That was the winner of this pretty much round right here. I think I did everything pretty well in terms of following the rules and keeping track of all the other things. But, you know, after doing this for so long and so many hours running through it and just making sure everything's running, I'm bound to miss things here and there. But regardless of anything, that was a great time. And there you have it, everybody. Davy Jones's Locker Curse of the Ghost Ship. What I like, I actually like this one better than the Kraken Wakes. Kraken Wakes is cool. Kraken Wakes is definitely more of a brawler type deal. You go in there and you just want to power up your ships as much as possible and just fire cannon, fire cannon, fire cannon, fire cannon until the beast goes down. This guy is definitely more of a puzzle because of all of those siphon abilities that you have. Because you'll go into it trying to attack him, and you got to be very careful about what stat you use in order to try to get all of those souls off of him. Again, the cursed idol is the biggest thing here that you have to really try to get as soon as you can in order to stand a well, you can still stand a chance, but moving things around and adding and subtracting could be really, really difficult. My buddy and I played this before, and we did end up winning because he had the cursed idol, but there were just times when it was so hard trying to get around and like doing the siphoning and like what are you rolling? You know, it's all luck of the dice. But regardless of anything, it's fun just getting in there and doing what you got to do. And then once you start really knocking things down, oh, it is awesome. In any event, let me know what you thought of Davy Jones's Locker, Curse of the Ghost Ship, down in the comment section below. Are you excited for any more coming to the Davy Jones's Locker universe, or whatever it is they want to call it? After seeing this and after playing the Kraken, there are a ton of different things that I could think of that would be amazing for this. Could you imagine going up against a giant shark constantly swimming around you, or sirens, or just other, or even going into a full-on Navy battle? Like you are 7 or 8 naval ships on one side, you're on the other, and you got to kind of like break through the lines and everything. There's so much that can go into this game to have these amazing, epic, high-sea adventures that you just got to play them for yourself in order to really, really get the most out of them. So that means there will most likely be more of this coming to the channel in the future. So that means in order for you not to miss that or any other fun video I have to put out, be sure you are subscribed to the Home Gamer Dad. If you wish to support the channel even further, there are ways to do that down in the description section below. But as always, your view, your like, your subscribe, sharing this video, commenting, let me know what you think and everything like that go a long, long way into helping out the channel, and it just means the world to me. Let me know again all your thoughts and everything down below. I can't wait to just play this again because I want to see how it is on bigger player counts, and it itself is an exciting addition to the game, and I can't wait for more to come. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. We are family forever, gaming together. Ahoy me mateys, drop anchor, and let's go to shore and celebrate our victory. Until next time, you have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.